Hey everyone, this is Jane with Barlow Herbal, and I've got Dr. Brandon Nielsen back, and we are going to talk about uh, the concept of preparedness, where I think
That's a good one.
something we've been talking about actually for a long time, but we're in the middle of June of 2022, and I believe if you look at anything that's happening in the world, inflation, all the food factories burning down, um, like really, that's happening.
I heard it. I didn't. I
But
know people always tell me stuff. I love people
yeah.
give me the news, and it's like, are you kidding
That's
me?
how I get my news too. That's
And
the
I
only reason I
appreciate it. It's
know.
so nice.
Yeah, because I'm
Yeah.
not a news watcher. So I believe that now is the time. We're all like, it's almost like, you know, you're talking about need to be prepared, need to be prepared, need to make sure you have maybe a 2 or 3 or 6 month food supply. You need to get out of debt. We talk about it. We talk about it, and then it almost feels like the 11th hour to me.
Hmm.
So I wanted to just jump on with you and maybe talk about some strategies. I'm not a financial consultant. I'm not a preparedness guru, but I know that there's things that I've done in my life that I think it's better to be prepared and not need what you've prepared than not be prepared and need it. Because part of my thing is too
It's
is
true.
I want to be prepared, especially maybe in the food department, not just for my family, but so that I have the ability to share with others.
Oh yeah.
So I grew up in the Mormon religion, and we always had a 1 year food supply.
Wow.
Always.
Look
And
at you.
ha ha. No, I know. No, you knew this about me. No, but the
I'm
funny,
totally
I know
joking.
you are. But the funny thing is this: my grandma, my dad's mom, she was a massive 1 year food
Hmm.
store,
Mm-hmm.
and always the whole time I was growing up. But she always had so much, and she never rotated it or used it,
Oh.
that we would always get it
Oh
as
really?
when her stuff would start to expire.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because I'm one of 14, there was always a lot of kids to feed. So my mom and dad would bring home these boxes and boxes of canned foods, and we would still eat them if they expired,
Oh yeah,
unless
that's fine.
the top was bulging.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
So we learned, and this was our normal daily food. It wasn't like, so as a person now who grew up with that background, who's never really had, I never really thought I would need to prepare on that level, but I find myself doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your thought? What's your thoughts
So
about
it's
that?
interesting. Is it Jamie Dimon from Citigroup?
Yeah,
It's interesting, but just the other day. So
I
historically, in the
saw
past
that.
couple of months, he's been saying um, the 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 storms of financial disaster have been brewing. But the other day, he said
They're
we're in
here.
for he said we're in for a financial hurricane. You look at a person that with that much information, they have to financially forecast everything coming. And he has, I mean, they're so powerful in the sense that they have so much ability to collect data and financial data because they have to know what's coming. So when a person that is running that big of a bank, a world bank, saying we're in for a financial hurricane, you probably want to pay attention to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'll link the article below this because I saw that
Did
article
you?
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, my wife was telling me about that when we were talking, and I heard it somewhere. But it's very interesting because one thing before we get way into this, okay, is I want you to remember back in the 70s. No, you don't, because I would. Or wait, I guess you would, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I was born in
I was like,
61.
okay. So if we look back
You
at
wouldn't.
history, right? That's what I'm saying. If we look back into history, during the 70s, gas prices went up. It was crazy inflation, and my parents talk about it. The thing is, we're still here today. Like, we got through it. And that's the point, is we're going to get through this, you guys. And if you start getting into the fear like gas prices are $10 a gallon, you're going to get through it, just like they got through it, and just like they got through the Great Depression, and we've always got through it. And if we look back all the way back to the Dark Ages, they got through it. And if we look back all the way before then, every single person, every single group, they always got through it. They always made it out on the other side. A lot of times they didn't know how they were going to do it. And in the moment, it was like, is this going to ever end? But they got through it, which means that God is good and we will get through this. But there are some things that we must do to be able to prepare for this. I mean, we talked about finances, but let's talk about health.
Yeah, that's big.
One of probably your greatest commodity and or asset is actually your health.
Mm-hmm.
I see too many people, they can no longer work, so finances, because of their health.
Yeah.
They can no longer, provide, they can no longer enjoy life because of health. Like their health has deteriorated to a point, or they cannot actually enjoy life. So health, I mean, I can talk about health all day long, but
Yeah, me
let's
too.
talk about health.
Yeah, I mean, to
Just
me,
a couple of key things, I think. What can we do?
well, I think the number one thing people need to realize is that it's actually fairly easy to turn your health around. If you're willing to take some, maybe they might be drastic steps as far as cutting out all junk food, fast food, soda, sugar, like cut out all the crap that doesn't serve you and be willing to do that 100%. Because I've seen people over the years, regardless of what's happening right now, but even way prior to this, who have some pretty gnarly health issues. And if they are willing
They're willing
to do it, I've seen people turn their health around even in 30 days.
immediately. It
So
will start to take.
quickly.
It's amazing when you give the body. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we are these resilient, amazing machines. And the thing is, our body recognizes wellness. And that's the homeostasis. That's where our body feels good. So when we start to treat our body right, it explodes in good health and wellness really quickly. So to me, that's my biggest message is if you think, well, my health is so far gone this way, have faith and know that your body responds very, very quickly if you have the determination and you're willing to take the steps to do it.
Seriously. And
Yeah.
I'll say to this, like to sum it up really easily, what would you feed a baby? What would you feed? Would you feed a baby what you're drinking?
Yeah.
I'm talking like a baby
Yeah.
who's just introduced the introduction of foods. So my message today is to eat like a baby. You don't have to mash it up and you don't have to puree it. But what does a baby eat? If you look, turn the bottle on those little baby foods. Squash, carrots, peas,
Yeah.
yams, chicken, beef,
Yeah.
oats. You know what I mean? It's all real food.
Right.
When you start giving the body real food, a lot of the symptoms, a lot of the diseases go away. Some of the harder disease over time, but if you give your body real food, it will immediately start. So medicine is easy. Either you got to start something or you got to stop, or you got to simultaneously do some things. So you stop some of the bad and start some of the good. Health is your asset. And I'll say that with health, the other thing, one of the other things that I highly recommend is having a skill set, something so for example, me as a doctor, people are always going to need me because I'm not, you guys, I did 2 doctorates. I did a doctorate in naturopathic medicine and a doctorate in chiropractic. People always need me. Even during all times, people have always need me because I've set myself up for people to be their primary care physician. And no, I'm not asking you to be my patient. I'm sorry. Don't call into our office, please. I have, no, literally,
No, I
I
know.
have a waiting list of months and months and months. So I'm not, by no reason am I trying to get you to be my patient.
No, I know
what
what
I'm
you're
saying
trying
is
to
that
say. Yeah.
I have a skill set. No matter where I go in this world, I can set up a shop and immediately I would have patients. So what I'm saying to you, and I'm not saying, oh, look at me, Dr. Nielsen. No, I don't need that. Okay, I'm taking care of. What I'm saying for you, Jane, you also have a skill set in herbal medicine and being able to create herbs. No matter what, especially in end times, your skill set is going to be needed forevermore, all right?
But we're going to need everything.
We do.
We need carpenters.
You guys
we
remember
need accountants.
still,
we need electricians.
And we always did.
Yes.
After the Great Depression,
Yes.
we still needed all these people. So whatever you are, I'm not saying to go and get a new skill set unless you need to, but you need to have skills to pay the bills. And you need to increase and become the greatest. How do you do that? You keep learning, you keep refining, you become better and better and better and better until you become an expert that people will come to.
That is such a good point because here's what you're talking about. You're not just talking about surviving during these times.
What about the after?
But
I'm already looking way 100 years from now.
And you're talking about thriving.
Yes.
So if you realize that there have been hills and valleys, all the way through the time of humans, that the way you handle the really low things and the things that you prepare for and do are going to, when times get up again, and they will, I promise you, they will.
They always will.
They always will. And things, I'm telling you, I am so excited about where things are.
Yeah, because things are going to get so low, so they can only go up.
Yeah, well, and it's not only that. I think people are coming back to the really important things in life.
Oh,
People,
seriously?
They are. It's like, my family's important. My health is important. Oh my gosh, my finances, I've not been paying attention. I've always thought I had time to pay off all my credit cards. And
my health, I always thought I had time. And wait, now there's going to be no food. I better start being healthy.
Yeah. So I think the thing is, the main message of this video is about preparedness. And that can look different for everyone. I do think that there are some base foundational pillars, like being prepared in your finances, because I think we're in for some tough times.
Like, what do you mean by that?
Well,
because I agree. But what does that mean to somebody?
Well, I think you need to rein in your spending. Watch don't have a whole bunch of debt. Now, this is easier said than done. And I know that there's a lot of people who maybe have a mountain of debt right now. It's like, okay, that's easy for you to say, don't have debt. But don't add any more debt to what you have. Now, another piece of this, and this comes deeply from my background with my dad, is don't rely on the government.
Yeah.
To bail you out of what you've gotten yourself into.
Yeah, that's great.
My parents had 14 kids, and the whole time I was growing up, we were never allowed to have free lunch at school, because my dad and mom were both, we made this decision to bring you into the world, and we are responsible for feeding you. The government is not responsible for feeding you. Now, I'm just telling you my personal experience. Right. This is not to take away from a person who is in a situation where their kids need to eat lunch at school.
Absolutely.
I'm not taking away from that. But what I'm saying is, we all have the ability in certain ways to take care of ourselves financially. And I think that this is where, as modern Americans especially, where I feel like we have become dependent on the government to take care of our basic needs instead of being self-reliant, maybe going without sometimes.
Self-reliant.
Right. And maybe you have to go without sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
When I grew up, we never went out to eat. It was so rare because we simply couldn't afford it. My dad and mom never got into debt to simply go out and do things and take us on vacations. Our vacations were rustic. We would pile into the back of my dad's truck,
but you had fun.
And we had fun. We went up into the mountains and had a cookout. And,
I come from a family of 8 kids.
Right. So the thing is this. I think getting back down to the things that are really important and realizing that you can have fun when you pile in the car and go to the sand dunes. Like we used to do that. That was our idea of a vacation.
You know what we did last night?
What?
We had a picnic.
And how fun was that?
It was a blast. The kids at the end of the picnic, because we went to this park that they rebuilt the park, because the old one was the jungle gym. They don't call them jungle. Play equipment, whatever they call them. It was falling apart, and there was all the spiders, and so they redid the whole park.
Oh.
We haven't been there since they redid it. We took the kids, and all we were doing is we were playing this lava tag. If you step down in, so the jungle gym or the equipment is big enough that you can run around, and it's tag. It's essentially tag. At the end, they said, that was so much fun. We played tag, and we ate 2 homemade sandwiches.
That's perfect.
My wife made homemade cookies as a treat if you ate all your carrots. I'm just saying. No, literally, I mean, we still had a treat, but it wasn't the whole treat. But the point was, it was so simple. And the kids at the end of the night, they said, that was so much fun. We had so much fun.
So he has 5 kids.
Yeah, I have 5 kids. So, but I liked what you said a minute ago, is you said self-reliance. And one thing I want to tell you guys with that is, as you're getting food, because Jane touched on this, you need to have, what we do is we do something called functional food storage. All right. And what that means is it's functional, meaning we actually get food storage, we eat that food storage, we get food storage, we eat that, and we're constantly rotating, constantly. And there's long-term food storage that we do have, but most of our food storage we're constantly eating. We're
Right.
eating jam right now. And the thing is, we do all those things. Like, we're old fashioned. We've gotten into that. That's somewhere maybe you can get into, but we can. Right now I'm really making sure all my raspberries are coming on. I just harvested strawberries on 2 days ago, or I guess not 2 days ago, because I harvested strawberries on last weekend. So 3 days ago, Saturday. Um, and I'm getting all my squash ready. I'm getting winter squash. I just planted some more potatoes. P.S. It's not too late to plant your potatoes.
That's true.
And I'm prepping, getting ready, my carrots ready. And so I have this garden. We didn't always have a garden,
Yeah.
but we do now. And now I have 2 gardens. I didn't tell you about that. We actually have 2 gardens. And
That's
so,
wonderful.
yeah, we have this lot where I garden, and we have our garden at home. And now we've just added more grow boxes. So we started out with the food storage that we had. We started out with like 1 box. And from 1 box, now we got 2 boxes, and
Yeah.
we kept growing. And now what I really transition into is functional food from my garden.
Right.
The next thing I'm getting into, which I'm really excited about, I don't think I've told you, is hydroponic gardening. And
You
I have a
didn't,
system.
but I think that's great.
So I have a system that I'm going to put in my garage, and it has a light, a UV light, and so I can just do hydroponic gardening. And so it's
That's self-reliant right there.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
It's
so
bit by
empowering.
bit, so that I can have those greens, and I don't have to rely upon anybody. I don't have to have, somebody say, hey, you can only buy one head of lettuce today. And I'm like, but I wanted 3,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
you can only have this many tomatoes today. And so we're really into canning now and working on those type of things. But that wasn't always the way. We started out with 1 box.
Yeah. Well, and the thing, I love that you rotate. I told you I did some prepping this weekend.
And it's fun.
Yeah, and I almost bought one of my husband's favorite things to cook for himself is macaroni and cheese.
You should get some.
I know. I was in Costco and I was thinking,
You should get some.
no, I will, because I'm doing a little bit of food prepping on the sly, because my husband thinks I'm a little bit silly, which is fine. Like, it makes me feel better to do it. And when I was in Costco, I almost got like a big pack of like the
macaroni
and cheese, because it's one of his favorite meals. But part of the thing, I don't eat it.
Right.
But I think one of the things which you totally said that resonated with me is you have to get things that you're going to actually eat. You can't buy food that is just like food you don't ever eat.
Yeah, what are you going to do? You have no food and you're like, the only thing I can have tonight is pinto beans. If you don't eat pinto beans, trust me, I mean, if you get hungry enough, but get food that I do eat pinto beans, but I love refried beans.
Yeah. I'm going to go and on the sly, I'm going to get him some macaroni and cheese, because I know if it push comes to shove, well, he eats it anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to tell my husband's dirty food secrets.
No, but those are the things that we do, is we actually get some of those foods that we do eat, and our kids will eat
and
rice
it's comfort.
and beans. Absolutely.
Comfort. Mac and
we do
cheese
have some of those things.
Yeah. So I think the food prep, food, how would you put that? Like, knowing that you can feed yourself during hard times is, I mean, I could live on sprouts.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I bought a whole big box of different sprouting seeds, and all I need is water.
Yeah.
And to me,
and it doesn't even have to be pure water.
Right. So, a lot of people couldn't live on sprouts.
I couldn't.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, if I had to, I'd add some pinto beans and some rice to it.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So yeah, you guys, figure out, if I may make a suggestion, functional food storage, becoming self-reliant, start out with 1 box, okay? And it might be a box of mac and cheese, so be it. And then I would recommend developing some skills that you can actually, if everything is taken away, if my whole practice were taken away, if I were to move to a new city, or if you were to have to start your business all over, could you do it? And the answer is a resounding yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've gone through the trenches. We've done this for years and years and years, and we've gone through the hard times, but we've developed the skills, the resilience, the grit to be able to say, If it's taken all away, I could build it back even faster now. It wouldn't take me 10 years. It would take me months, you know?
Yeah.
It wouldn't take you whatever many years, 10 years. It would take you months now.
Yeah.
And that's the difference is it's a skill set that is an asset combined with your health, with your functional food storage, with putting your finances in order allows you to become self-reliant. With that self-reliancy, you become resilient. You're able to be resourceful. There's always stuff there. You become resourceful. Those are some good R words.
Yes, they are.
Man,
And
reliance, resilience, resourceful.
Yes, I think that's the perfect place to end.
Wow.
Okay,
Didn't even have that plan, but that was good.
No, that was good. I think this is an important topic right now. And I hope that you're already on the path to these things. If you haven't, it's never too late to start.
It's not.
It's never too late to start. And I want to add one more thing. When you are, like you said, add one more package, every single time you go to the grocery store, from this day forward, buy a couple of extra items that you can set it aside every single time you go. If, we like to go to the grocery, well, my husband goes to the grocery store every day, every other day, because he likes to get fresh food. And if you're a person that does that too, then start adding a little bit extra and setting it aside for every time you go to the grocery store. So just be a planner, be resilient, be resourceful, realize that your thriving comes from yourself and your ability to provide for yourself, and to realize it's not about a sacrifice. I think we got so soft.
Yeah.
We had, oh, I'll take care of my health later. I'm going to drive through McDonald's today. You know what I mean? Like we just think, we always thought we'd have time to do things later, but.
I like it.
Okay. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope you have a brilliant day, and we'll see you next time.